Morning everyone. I've just stopped to get some fuel. So the rain is coming down terribly today. It doesn't look like it, but it's completely soaked. Armoured cable hasn't turned up. I've picked up my earth rod bits, so I've got the joiner, I've gone for the 5/8 coupler. The smashing rod nut driver bolt they give you is just a sort of an M18 by the looks of it, and then the big clamp. So we've got the lights, we're going to put the lights up, we're going to get the earth rod in today, and then this is part 2. So hope you enjoyed part 1, and then I'll be back tomorrow to finish the job, put the cable in, etc. So I'm just going to try and get through this traffic now, and then I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so here we are back again. So I stayed on a little bit longer last night, got a little bit done. So you can see that's the outside light. I've put a box up here because what I'm going to have to do is, what I've done is put a 3-core earth in. I'm not going to need it, I'm probably going to need a 2-core. But basically if you put this switch on, it's going to wire through the dusk to dawn sensor, and then until that dusk to dawn sensor activates, it will come back and then switch on that light and the other light, which is going to go the other side. So I will explain this in a little bit more detail when I actually come to connect it. But first things first, I've got these 2 little LED lights. Going to get them put up, get all the tube work finished first. Just show you these actually. So these are like a sealed LED unit with a little connection on the back. And they just have 2 mounting brackets that you put up. So centre of the building is here. So I've worked 500 baht, it's a 5-foot fit in, and then they just clip on. And he just clicks in actually. I'll just show you that actually. I will take it down because obviously I've got to get into the connections. But literally, just sits on these little brackets. Just clips in like that. And you can just get centre of light there. Easy as that. Nice slim line. I think these are 4K cool whites, so they should be quite nice. Alright, here's where I'm at. I've got 1 light up, piped in. As you can see, conduit stops there, cable comes in. There's no cable on show, which is nice. Conduits up there, and then it comes, this is the best transition I could find. So Copex gland comes into a box, and then this is the only bit of Copex on the job. I've had to put some ply to space it off like I said yesterday, and then what I've done, I'm going to wire these lights separately because these connections, you know what they're like, it's so hard to try and get 2 into one. I could put a joint up in behind, but I'm not going to do that. So I'll just end up with another cable. That'll be 1 switch wire and a neutral, and then I'll have another one of those which will go up along to do that light there. So I'm going to just get this bit in now and finish this conduit. Right, finally conduit work is all done. Lights are up. I will have to take these lights down, but it is only a case of just unclipping, and because I've got insulation resistance test this yet, but I'm not testing it today. So as you can see, conduits run along. I've had to put temporary ply up to give me the space in for the conduit, and then it just runs off those boxes out the Copex there, along, glands in, runs along, and then stop end, and then into the light. I hope you agree with me. I think it looks quite nice actually. So what I'm going to do now is go outside. Right, round the back of the workshop slash shed. This is the corner where the cable's going to go in, and as you can see, they've got a nice soft bit of dirt there. So I've got my 2 rods. We're going to go with 2, and then when we connect, we can do a reading. If the reading isn't within, I know it will be with these 2 rods, but if it isn't, they have got the screw end there that you can always couple another rod to it and then whack another one down to go even deeper. So we're going to give this a go now. I'll set you up as best I can, and then we'll see what we can do. Right, hopefully you can see something that's going on. We'll pull this back just like that. Normally not leaving it on it. 79 million bugs on it. Oh, that was a fail. Right. So, as you can see, got the threaded, both ends are threaded. This is a 5/8 bar. Literally just gonna, one's got a spiked end, one's got a flat end, so obviously you want to go with a spike end, and that's quite soft at the minute because the guys obviously put a base in for. Okay, that's solid there. Okay, we'll go with that. I think it's just some rubble down there. So basically put the coupler on. It says this horrible thread. Right, that'll do for now. And then you get the, you don't want to be smashing that because you'll just wreck the top. So put the bolt in, if you like. Got the biggest hammer in the world, as you can see. Okay. Give it a tap because that will loosen that up. Nope, that's too hard there. So out he comes. Go to there a little bit. There we go. Okay. Thing keeps loosening. Right. What's it doing? That's really hard. What we might have to do, change a plan. Let's bring it up here. See while this goes up here. Cool. Solid. There we go. Right, that's good. That's better. So that's nice and soft. I could probably take that off now. So that, I've got to work that coupler up a little bit more. I'm just going to get some grips. I'm back with a set of mole grips and an adjustable spanner. Hopefully we can grab hold of this rod. Stop it spinning. Obviously don't grab the threaded bit because you'll wreck it. And then some adjustables. Just get this coupler to sit nice and tight. There we go. Right. Like the rock. The old moon rock. That's nearly there. You obviously want this tight because once you run this into the ground, you ain't getting to this again unless you pull the bloody rod out of the ground. I will try and speed you up at this point, but it's real world, isn't it? I like the people sat in an office claiming they know everything. I've never seen any of them do any work, you know. There Everyone can preach, but can you do it? Right, that's tight. Gotta get the next rod. Obviously, spike end down again. Wind him in. I hope I can get this all the way in. Okay, mould grips on there again. And then try and tighten him up. Obviously I didn't get another coupler, just a bit of a fail. So am I going to stop that bending then? Not. I'm going to have to just go with these two rods. Okay, forget everything that I said about not hitting the top, because I'm going to have to go with these rods. And again, this is real world, isn't it? Right, get that as tight as you can. To be honest, if it isn't good enough, I could easily put another rod 2 meters over there, link them together if I had to, but I'm pretty confident that this is going to give me a good enough reading. Right. To be fair, I could. There's enough on there to cut that if it does. It's going to take me ages, so I'll put you on the laps. Oh wow, I'm tired, that was hard. Right, I had to get the bigger hammer in. I wish I'd have bought the sledge. So I'll just take you out there. Basically, as I suspected would happen, the end of the rod is now mushroomed over slightly because I didn't have another coupler, as you can see there. So what I'll have to do is get the grinder, grind that bit off, and then the clamp will still wind onto that thread, and then we're going to put a whisker box on top, and then Copex out and up, come through here somewhere, and then just put a stop end box and then go through with the armoured. So yeah, at least that is in. So that's, I think they're 5 foot, so that's 10 foot, I think. Maybe they're 4 foot, I'm not sure, I'll have to have a look, but yeah, that's gone in there now. Hello everyone, I'm back. For you the break has been nothing, but for me it's been a day or two, because the cable, I've had an absolute nightmare with that cable. As you can see now, it's turned up. So what I'm going to do is start halfway. I'll probably put it on the laps somewhere down this end. I've got to snake the cable around a load of drain pipes and then fix it low level on the house, and then it's going to come along these sleepers. So I'm going to drag it out first, coil it off, and as always start halfway. Yeah. Right, so I ordered 80 metres, 90 metres of armoured. The wholesalers have sent 100 metres. So this is the offcut. This has obviously got to go into here yet, so I'm going to lose a bit more. So roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 metres. So I reckon this is about a 75 metre finish cable, 16 mil. Okay, using the SWA. Some people get confused about that. SWA is the CPC. It's only a 2-core. We don't need the earth this end, so we're using the CPC on the SWA to protect the cable, and then we're going to use the earth rod to provide the installation earth. Okay, so it's a bit of a change of plan. We were going to cleat this all the way on the front, but the customer actually wants it sat, if you can see, on this inside edge here. So what I'm going to do, I've laid it in the bed, got it all the way down to the house. I'm now going to go along, cleat. It's laid in the bed probably every 500 on this, because it's sat on the soil anyway, so he knows it's there, so he's happy with that. So we're going to get this cleated and I'll see you shortly. Right, it's just started to lash it down. I've got the half of it cleated back to the consumer unit, not into the board but back to where it's going through. Got to do this last bit and then I will be back in here. So I'm just going to go in the house just to have a look where I've actually got to come through. Might drill a pilot out and then it will give me an idea of what I'm aiming for basically. Right, I'm absolutely soaked. Don't know if you can hear the rain on the roof. It is, don't know if you can see it, it's lashing it. I'm soaked, dirty. It's like I'm a gardener today. Been getting that cable in that hedge. What I'm going to do is put you on a hyperlapse, walk the route with you. I've got to walk that way anyway to get some more cleats. I'm about 6 or 7 short. I've got to walk that way anyway, so I'll take you along. We'll have a look at the route and I'll manage to get it in the house and I'm going to put the box. I'll actually take you in the house. I'll come back, take you in the house and I just want to show you a couple of bits. Right, cable is in both ends now. I picked up a new angle grinder. Thought I would show you guys. So I'll go for the brushless if you can. If you can afford a little bit more, go for the brushless. It was £30 more for the brushless. It's got speed setting on here. I don't know if the other one has, but this has got speed setting. I've got to cut the mushroom end off the earth rod and I'm just going to cut this armoured down because why not? We all like to have a go with new toys. And obviously I had a comment saying, why do you wear goggles and ear defenders when chasing out boxes? Well, because of your ears and eyes, isn't it obvious? So get your ear defenders on, get your goggles on. JSP, these ones are. I'm just going to roll this out a bit because we're in both ends now, so I'm quite happy I can cut the excess off now. So roughly there, that's going to be plenty to go into the board. Okay. Lovely bit of kit. Right, next thing I'm going to do is get this armoured up, in and cleated, made off into there. What I'm going to do is take off the armour and the sheath, gland in there, but I'm going to carry the double insulation all the way up and then just have the single insulation looping over into the top of the main switch there. I'm going to go and cut the earth rod. I'm not going to show you that because it is lashing it and I don't want the camera, well it's GoPro, but I don't want everything to get soaked. So I'm just going to put you on the time warp lapse, whatever it's called, get this bit done and I will show you in a second. And of course, I don't know why everyone thinks I was so serious about this tool, but of course everyone knows it's for cutting copper pipe, okay? Okay, there we go. Armoured is cleaned up, glanded into there. Double insulation comes all the way up. I'm now just going to strip this off, connect it into here. I'm going to quickly make off this board. It's just 2 circuits, one ring final circuit, ring main, and one lighting circuit. And I'm going to go outside, get the earth rod done, and then I will go in the house, connect up, come back here, do all my testing, but I will take you with me as well. Right, board's now connected. As you can see, I've left the functional earths out at the minute because I've still got to disconnect these and do some testing here. I just wanted to get it made off and done, so just leave them out for the sec. What we're going to do now is just second fix the switches and the lights, not the lights, the junction box up the top there for the dusk to dawn sensor. And it's just stopped raining, the sun's come out, so I'm going to go outside and quickly cut that earth rod down. Well, I've not tried it yet. I'll just bring you with me. Whoops. This is treacherous round here now. Right, let's have a look. Where is it? Hopefully that's cooler. Yep, that's cool now. So this should. Might have to get the file actually. What a dirty job. No, there we go. Okay, so that's screwing on there, lovely. So I'm going to take it off. That's screwing on there, perfect now. Put a nice box here, bit of conduit, and then bring the earth into the side here. But I'm not going to film it. I'll just I'll show you when I've done it. That's still up. Put it in that puddle. That's it. I'll just show you when I've done it, basically. But you get the idea. Right, let's show you where we're at now. So new earthing conductors coming in into the box through the same hole, because the metal enclosure, so they should live neutral and earth should. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. It said SD card error. Anyway, I've just got to connect that into there. Take you back outside. Around here, and then you can see the new box. I've just got to put a label on that saying electrical connection, do not disconnect. Okay, and that goes up in a Copex into that stop end box there. Right, just briefly, what I've done here is all the earths in a way go with a fly lead onto the faceplate because it's metal, and it specifically says this metal plate must be earthed using the terminal marked. That one there. All the neutrals going away go. Okay, so that does the 1, 2 lights. You've got the feed, neutral in, 2 lights, which are the 2 strip lights above my head, and then this grey, which is flagged up blue, which goes up to this box. Okay, that will take my neutral to this box, which needs to be for this dusk to dawn sensor and these 2 lights, 1, 2. Black isn't used, and the brown's looped over. If you can see, the feed is looped, okay, across the switches. 2 browns, which one goes off to that light, one goes off to that light, so that they just switch on with this switch, And then that brown there, which is the brown from the 3-core earth, that's going up and up to here. It will then wire through here. Until that clicks on, these lights won't come on, okay? If that makes sense. I'll do this box and I'll show you that. Right, you're on the head mount. Hope you like this new view. So I'm just going to talk you through, I've disconnected. What I've done is stripped all these cables, hope you can see them. Right, I'll just assume that you can see them. So coming from here, this one cable here goes to the outside light that side. This cable here goes down to that light. So we're going to have a switch line, neutral and an earth, okay? This is the 3-core, an earth that comes from the switch. So that brown will be my switch feed, if you like. That's my neutral, that's my earth. So this switch feed, rather than it just connecting to these lights, it's going to go via this PIR, okay? So this switch feed will become a permanent feed, okay? So that will connect to that brown there. And then the black, which I flagged up brown, coming back. So when that dusk to dawn sensor activates, this will literally just connect on to these browns here, like this, okay? So we'll actually put all these in the Wagos now. And then it needs a neutral, so 3-core earth, grey, flagged up as the blue, likewise on that one. So let's count them up. So neutrals, we've got 4 neutrals, so we're going to go for the little 4-way Wago. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you weren't using Wagos yet, why not? Look how quick that is, okay? So that's your neutrals tucked away nicely. Next, 2-way Wago, okay? Well, this is actually an inshore, so don't tell them. So that feed goes onto that feed, basically, which goes into the box, like so. These boxes are flimsy, to say the least. Right, earths. 4-way Wago again. Oh, these are awkward with the sleeving because they slide. Oh, 1. 2. Can see there he's at the end of the connector. 3. 4. And I'm going to take you in the house in a minute, because when I come to look at this job, the earthing system was a TT, okay? Lucky for me, I always put a TT earth spike out on these little jobs anyway, okay? But if you was just not to do it, you would be exporting a PME outside, and that's a big no-no, isn't it? Because if it does go down, it means this installation goes down as well. And then both installations will have no earth connection, okay? There we go, easy as that, look. Okay, so now no screws on this lid. That goes on to there, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, lovely jubbly. I'm going to go outside now and connect that dusk to dawn sensor. I'm just checking it's working. So I've got you on the strap, head mount strap thing again. Right, as you can see, stuffing gland in there. I will put some silicone in that hole, okay? Stuffing gland in there. But little tip, don't tighten this up yet because you want this cable to be able to move, okay? So earth connection we don't need, so we just put that in a Wago. And then get the sensor here. So you've got allo, al and neutral, okay? Self-explanatory. Al being the feed in, allo being live out, okay? Neutral. Live. You make them what you make them, whatever. I made the black the switch line, didn't I? So that needs to go in the LO, okay? Just around here. Like so. Make sure you got your cork gasket on there. Hopefully that'll fit in there, that way you go. Have enough room. If not, we'll have to just remove it and put something else in. Okay, so get that in. And then, I don't think that's going to fit actually. Pull the cables down and out of the way. No, it's not going to fit, so I'm just going to have to take that off. and unfortunately the only way to do it is cut it shorter, put some sleeving on it like so, double him over like that. That's the only way that's going to fit. Okay, you don't actually need an earth, so that's absolutely fine. Right, you have a north marking on here, so I've checked. So you have one little locating pin there, okay, and then 2 screws which come in the pack. So make sure your gasket's on before you do this. And then it's sort of obvious now why I don't do the do that gland up, isn't it? Because you need that cable to be flexible, because if you make it off too long, it ain't gonna squash down into there onto the gasket. So that squashes onto the gasket, and then you can push your slack into your box a little bit back up into there. But it's obviously nice to leave a little drip loop so that won't track into the building, and then you can tighten up your stuffing gland like so. And then you just get your sensor, which is here, and they only go in one way, okay? They can only go in one way. So you've got big slot, 2 little slots, and then he just clicks in. That's it. So then if you was to cover that, you could override that and bring the lights on and then take your hand away. But you can remove that and get a blank, so it just links out the 2 lives. But yeah, I don't know what that's doing that on there, little mark. No, that's fine. There we go. Okay, that's the dust and dawn sensor connected. Now we're going to go in the house. Right, hopefully you can see inside the cupboard. That's where the armoured comes in. I didn't gland it outside, I gland it in here, okay? I'm going to remove these 2 old trunkins, and then my new box is going to mount under the old consumer unit here. I'll then loop the armoured in to the bottom, bring the cables into the top, and we've got 1 spare way here which we're going to go on, and then I'll put a 16mm earth to the SWA. Okay, so I thought we had a TT system here. If you look in the next cupboard, you can see that this is a bit gassy. Whew. You can see that this has been converted to PME. Okay, just there, and then someone's lovely pails just floating in the wind, and then they've had a rewire at some point. Look, because these are the old cables, just all left rubbers, etc. So yeah, PME. So good job we didn't export this PME system into the new workshop. Gas. Right, just a small update. Got the uni light in here. It's fantastic light. Okay, armoured comes in as I said down there. It then comes into this box, glanded off. Double insulations coming into the consumer unit. That will then connect onto the MCB that's going here. I've got to run a 16mm earth to earth down this armoured, and then we can do some testing. Right, I'm just doing an R1 R2 reading between the armoured, so only the armoured, and the new feed, the brown. Okay, I've linked it down at the new workshop. So it's basically going down the brown, coming back on the armoured, if you like. It's giving me a resistance reading of 0.25. Superb. Right, hopefully you can see. I've just powered up the sub-main, that's all tested now. I'm just going to do a reading, just to see what sort of reading. It's out of interest. See what reading we're getting off this earth stake, eh? Hopefully you can see. There we go. Come on. Don't you just love them probes? Drop that again. Oh, these tips on these. There we go. No. Bloody hell. So small, aren't they? Look. There.
So TT supply, we are getting, as you can see, 6 ohms. That is not bad, is it, eh? 6 ohms off of 2 earth spikes there, yeah? 6 ohms, hope you can see that. Just did a quick test, so basically earthing off the sheath, so that would be importing the PME down here, and I got 0.58, which is a good reading, but obviously you can't guarantee that when that goes you're going to have an earth connection, so at least we know that's good. So I can record that reading for the submain, and then the ZE at the board will be 6 ohms. Right, epic fail. One of the lights isn't working, so I have to take it down. I'll have to take that back. That one's working. This is a bar heater, is what it is basically. A bar heater, you get 2 brackets, put the 2 brackets on the wall, put the bar heater in it and plug it in, and then it's got a little adjustable thermostat on the side here. So that's a 6-foot one, just for the area. Yeah, so I'm going to get that bolted on the wall now. Right, I'm just doing some end-to-end readings on that ring circuit that I installed. Oops. 0.10, so we can put that in the iPad. 0.10, and then we go on to the neutrals. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. 0.10, 0.10, and then R2. Puss. Come on then. Come on then. Shh. Come on. Mouse. Anyway, CPCs. That's too high. It's not on properly. I suppose it's right. Let me have a look. There we go. 0.27, 0.27. 0.27. Done. R1, R2. Right, I'm not going to film any of this now. I just got to get on with it because it's nearly 6 o'clock. Right, there we go. Power's on. New heater's on. Just warming up. Board, like these boards, all I've got to do is just put some labels on this. My label's under there. I like these because they give you a magnet for sticking the lid up. And then you can stick it there and it holds that in. So I like them, and you can get a little key for those as well if you want. So that's all done, that's all done. So I hope you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. I am shattered.